Hello, friends. Chris Corsi here, president of Thrive Today, and I want to welcome you to the Relational Skills in Real Life podcast. Friends, I'm glad you're here. I've been looking forward to today's episode because we're looking at combating dread with appreciation. That's right. We're going to explore how appreciation neutralizes the effects of complex emotions. And we're going to hear from a Thrive team member and friend, Rebecca Glazer, on how she used appreciation to neutralize some of the dread that she was feeling. And friends, at the time of this airing, the election is tomorrow. Or some of you may be listening to this podcast after the election. And you know what? Everybody is feeling something big. Some of us are weary from the adrenaline of this season of life. Some of us are anxious. We're upset. We're on edge. Maybe we're not sleeping very well. We feel this persistent tension in our body. We're breathing shallow. All kinds of unhelpful things happen when we are nervous, when we are anxious, when we are stressed, when we are struggling to manage what we feel. The reality, friends, is all of us can use more joy and more peace and more shalom in this season of life. So, we're going to hear about the effects of appreciation. And appreciation is remembering joyful times. So, when we load and activate appreciation memories, what happens is our body and our brain respond as though we are reliving the moment all over again. And friends, dread is one of those complex emotions where we can feel afraid and worried about something, and yet we can feel hopeless and we don't see an outcome. So it's this combination of a high energy emotion combined with low energy emotions. And so it's kind of like starting your car and pressing the accelerator and the brake at the same time. In fact, when any of the big core six emotions combine, we can feel dread if we don't get relief soon. And all of us can probably relate to feeling dread where we're worried about something, but yet we just don't see a solution or an outcome. Dread is a hard, complex emotion to navigate. Let's hear from Thrive team member Rebecca, and let's see what she has to say about how appreciation neutralized and helped her with dread.
The skill of appreciation has made a huge difference in my life. Um, it's not that I was a negative person before, but often I would focus on the problems that I needed to fix. And so I would just enter each day with a lot of dread. So I learned in track one that to fully operate in the identity center of your brain, you need to be present there. And I realized I zone out a lot. I think about the past and regret it. I think about the future and like what I need to do, which can almost be overwhelming. So it really knocked me out of that. I am present right here now in my body and in this situation. And so I started using appreciation to be able to stay there. So, for instance, I would wake up in the morning feeling a sense of dread, heaviness, maybe my stomach is rolling a little bit. Um, my head would be spinning as I would just immediately wake up with a list of to dos, like, what do I need to do today? So my head felt heavy. It felt kind of cloudy, like I can't even think clearly because there's just so much. And so I started just taking some time at the beginning of the day to take some deep breaths, to sit on my back porch and just look at the sun as it came up, to notice the beautiful tree, the flowers in my garden, to listen to the birds singing, and to just appreciate. And I could feel my stomach settling and a sense of peace sweep through my chest like a cool breeze blowing away all of that heaviness, and my head felt clear. And then I was able to connect to God and say, God, what is really important about my day? And what do you want me to notice? And so, using that appreciation, I was able to return to joy and to connect to Emmanuel at the beginning of the day. So, appreciation has been a huge um, game changer in my life.
All right, friends, that was something, wasn't it? Rebecca just gave us so much gold in what she shared. Rebecca noticed how a little bit of quieting really set the stage for her to practice appreciation. She reflected on some of the good stuff, and appreciation really started to restore her. And it really gave her the peace that she longed for. And it was neat to hear how Rebecca started to notice the good stuff in her environment, right? Instead of ruminating on the past and just losing her joy, she was able to start scanning the environment to notice the good stuff. And I really appreciated her description of the difference that appreciation made for her life and her mood and her attitude and her feelings and her emotions. She felt more peaceful and engaged. And if you listen closely, you also could hear how appreciation really set the stage for Rebecca to interact with the living God. And I liked how she approached the living God. She said, Lord, what is important to my day here? What should I notice and pay attention to? And this appreciation moment, which was not super long, right? She was just able to enter into it. She was able to quiet and just spend some time remembering the good stuff, feeling the good stuff, and sharing the good stuff. And this one skill changed everything. This skill of appreciation activated her other skills, and appreciation led the way for more peace, more joy, and more clarity on some of what God is saying and doing. And as you were listening, did you notice and did you feel the difference in Rebecca as she shared how she was feeling before appreciation and then how she felt after appreciation? That was quite a dramatic difference. I really enjoyed going on that ride with her and just feeling some of that joy and that peace. And friends, the reality is if you live in this world, you can use more appreciation to be refreshed, but also to activate all your other skills. So I want to leave you with a few thoughts here today. Where do you need more peace and joy? Where do you notice your mind starts to veer off the road and it starts getting lost in the weeds? Appreciation is low hanging fruit. And so just a little bit of practice with this relational skill can go a long way to help us live in God's peaceful presence. And I appreciate Dr. Jim Wilder, who says that appreciation 3 times a day, practice 3 times in your day for 5 minutes each time, which means you're thinking about the good stuff and feeling it and sharing it 3 times a day for 5 minutes each time for 28, 30 days can reset and recalibrate your nervous system to run on joy and peace instead of anxiety or fear or despair or whatever it might be. So, a little bit of appreciation can go a long way. And I just want to encourage you to take some time to practice this, these little windows to purposefully reflect on the good stuff. And friends, there's more good stuff where this came from. At our website, thrivetoday.org, we have a skill 4 page. And what this page gives us is more upcoming practice opportunities that's on the horizon. And it provides more information for the anxiety course, which it can also help us to turn down the volume on our anxiety. And we've had a number of podcasts on this topic. So go to the Skill 4 page and you'll find a lot of good stuff there. And may this be the start of something good for you.